Halftime Pizza and FightSaga.com proudly present War Week Radio with 5-decade fight trainer James Gogue.
Guys, welcome. Happy Sunday to all of you. And guys, if it's Sunday night, that means we are seeking the counsel of the boxing savant, the gentleman with the best eyes in the business, Maestro James Gogue. James, how you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing great, Joe. I'm doing great. You know what these are, Joe? These are the best boxing shoes in the whole business. All right. This is the new edition of Adams Boxing, the V Pros that are going to be coming out pretty soon. He trains in my gym, so I took care. He always takes care of my guys, so I got to show him some love and let you motherfuckers out there, you fighters that wear that dog shit Nike or Adidas. This is the best. Okay, best boxing shoes out there. If you want to perform like the best, you got to wear the best. Don King had a saying: "We only want the best. Fuck the rest." Okay, this is the best. All right. Adams V20 boxing shoes, and Joe will give me some love at the end of the show. We could talk about it later on, but yeah, it's makes them in all different colors. The best out there. He sponsors right now. He sponsors 15 beautiful women fighters. He don't sponsor guys, just 15 beautiful women fighters, maybe a couple fighters like Munguia, the Vargases, and maybe a couple others, but mostly the beautiful women fighters out there that I can't remember the name of a few of them. I'll remember them. But yeah, the best. Very comfortable. You want mobile. You could be mobile, agile, and versatile if you wore these boots, just like Terrence Crawford. But anyway, Joe, let's get the show going.
And once again, we'll attach the link at the end of the show in case you guys are interested in purchasing some of these fine boxing athletic shoes. So I tell you what, and we'll go into it later on in the show and ask Coach Gogue what he looks for when he's trying to outfit his fighters and what's preferable in the ring. Well, dependent on style, of course. But I tell you what, guys, this says it all, right? This says it all, guys. And I'm not even going to say anything yet. But G Funky Boxing, our brother, says, greetings, Joseph, and the boxing genius, Coach Gogue. I'm here to give Coach his flowers. Yes, sir. I tell you what, Maestro Gogue does it once again. And Gogue, do you have anything to say to our extended War Week Radio family before we dive into how Navarrete, once again, you told us what he had to do to be successful, but you can tell us exactly how he executed it in the ring, right? So is there anything you'd like to say to our extended War Week Radio family at this time?
Yeah, G Funky, does a check come with those flowers? No, man, let me tell you, man, it's another day at the office for me, predicting these fights. That's all. Like Mikey Garcia used to say when he goes out and when he used to defend his title or go out there to win belts. It's just another day at the office, man. You know what I mean? That's all. No big deal. I don't watch a lot of film. Like, maybe I should watch. I don't watch no film, and tell you the truth. But maybe if I watch more film, I could give you guys more insight and the little details that I leave out by not watching film. But man, me, man, I don't know, man. I just don't watch film.
Well, let me ask you this: you watched film before the Crawford Spence fight, right?
Oh yeah. You know what? 10 minutes, around there.
Well, I tell you what, it showed because you were very, very specific, and you were able to tell us not just who would win, but how he would win. And you said it would be easy work.
Well, Joe, I didn't even watch 10 minutes to tell you the truth.
That's scary. So let me ask you this: when you watch Tim Bradley and his keys to victory, or Al Bernstein, even more laughable, on Showtime and their keys to victory. What are your thoughts, man? Do you just laugh when you see Al Bernstein's keys to victory on Showtime?
What do like I told Ron Marquez, they should fire all them motherfuckers, and I could do the broadcast myself. Color, I could be the Howard Cosell, play-by-play, and say the whole 9 yards, and Showtime would save them $2 million.
Well, I tell you what, speaking
myself.
Well, absolutely, brother. And we won't go into. And once again, Raul Marquez, that's your former fighter. You spent a lot of time with him. And you helped coach him in his job when he first started on Showbox, right?
Oh yeah, HBO back in the days, or I don't know. Raw NBC, Raw is like a motherfucking veteran, man. I mean, he's done so many broadcasts, called so many fights since, I don't know, 23, 24 years on every network. He's probably the only broadcaster right now that has called every fight on every network out there. 1 year, he was the only broadcaster to call a fight on Showtime, NBC, like 4 different networks in one day. In one day, he called fights on 4 different networks, 4 different fights on 4 different networks in one day. He's got the world record. I mean, he's, when he first started, he was, I said, hey, bro, it's like anything. You get a fighter that's raw and green, you got to develop and polish him up. Polish them up. And in broadcasting, it's about the X's and O's, like we do, the keys to victory, stuff like that, and how to present it. You know what I mean, in words and everything. Me, I swear a lot. That's why I can never do it. And how to call a fight. How a fight plays out, and this and that and this and that, and what to look for and this and that. To me, man, that's I've been watching fights, man. Back in the days, you motherfuckers are so lucky. All you got to do is pop YouTube and you can watch a fight instantly. Motherfucker, back in the days, if I wanted to watch some great fighters, I had to, back then, my boy Skip Lesperance, he passed away a long time ago. VHS, on them VHS tapes, I would have to order fights, and he charged me $20 and he would send it to me. Then I put it in my, my VHS player, cassette player, and watch the fights. That's how I watched fights back then. I had to buy all those shit. And I had a collection, probably, 40,000 fights in my library back then, before I gave them all away to my friend. And that's why, over the years, you watch all these fights and fights that I don't have VHSs from. Back in the days, boxing was so popular, man. Fights were going on every week in its heyday when boxing was mainstream. Two shows every weekend or whatever on NBC, ABC, Wild World Sports, or CBS. Boxing was mainstream, so I got to see a lot of fights like that. Watching it every week, and over the years, it cultivates your mind. It cultivates your senses, your instincts, and you figure out, how this shit works in boxing. Okay, you understand the lingo better. You understand what to look for. See, a lot of fighters, it's like an NFL scout. You go scout a player. A lot of people don't overlook him. What the fuck did they see in that guy? But good NFL scouts see the potential in the fighter and what he could become. I'll give you an example. Khalil Mack, all-pro defensive end. When he was coming out of a high school, he was only a two-star prospect. Nobody wanted him. So he couldn't get a scholarship to the Big Five, one of them Power 5 schools like Bama, Georgia, or Notre Dame. So he went to University of Buffalo. But over the years, he developed his craft, his skills. He got bigger, stronger, faster. And shit, he was one of the top 10 picks in the NFL draft when he came out. It's the same thing, man. You got to be able to see the future of these fighters. You look at them where they're at, and you look at them what they can become. Like Terrence Crawford, give you an example. Terrence Crawford, when he was coming out of the amateurs, he wasn't. I can't recall him winning a national title, national Golden Gloves. In his hometown, he lost in the finals to a guy named Jesus Mendez, who never done nothing in the pros. He never got past the 6th-round stage. He lost to my boy Jerry Belmontes, I think, twice. You know what I mean? So when he was turning pro, he was a low-level, under-the-radar prospect. Nobody gave a shit about. Top Rank didn't want him. Who else? All the big promoters didn't want nothing to do with him. You know what I mean? A kid from Nebraska. I mean, who cares, man? But Cameron Duncan got one of the best eyes in boxing. He saw where he was at and what he could become. And Chris Mittendorf, he
Yep.
put money behind him and promoted him and built him up till he got to a certain level. Then they took him to Top Rank, where they co-promoted him and everything. And his breakout fight against Bradis Prescott, which brought him on to the national scene. But the thing is, Joe, it's my eyes. I know how to, it's over the years. I developed these instincts, these skill sets that, like, for example, everybody talks about watching film and this and that. Motherfucker, a lot of motherfuckers don't know what to watch. All right. Hey, Joe,
and that's absolutely right. Yeah.
Music, you go watch a band. I don't know shit about it, but you know all the little details on what makes a band a good band and a fraud band.
Yep.
Right?
Absolutely. Absolutely, guys. And once again, guys, and every Sunday, guys, we're privileged to listen to the best eyes once again in the business. Gogue is regarded as one of the best talent scouts in the business. And he has been for quite a while. Don Chargan, the late great Don Chargan, used to herald him as the best scout for talent in the entire business.
He used to call me he used to call me a lot, man. Hey, what do you think about this guy? What do you think about this guy? I mean, shit, this is Don Chargan, Hall of Fame boxing promoter, 66 years in the business.
And matchmaker. Yep.
And matchmaker, revered by the whole industry, man. He used to call me all the time. What do you think about it? And I give him my 2 cents. Yeah.
That's how highly regarded Coach Gogue is, guys. And we get to listen to him preach every single Sunday. It's our sermon.
You want to hear something?
Let's hear it, brother.
One time, and I can say it now. It was back in, I think, a long time ago. It was 2006. Bernard Hopkins called him. They offered him a fight with a heavyweight. I can't remember who, a Russian guy. I don't know if it was Povetkin or somebody. And
it was. I remember it was the rich Russian guy. It was Shumanov, wasn't it? Bebut Shumanov.
No. It was a heavyweight. Might have been.
Oh, okay.
It might have been that juicing guy. What's his name? Yeah, that juicing heavyweight. But it was I can't remember. It was a Russian, and he goes, "What do you think?" I said, "Damn, Don, man, come on, man. There's weight divisions, man." He goes, "That guy's as good as Hopkins is. This guy's just too big," and he agreed. And he went out there and he returned and he called Hopkins back and gave him his opinion why, saying, "Hey, man, and that fight never happened because he was seriously thinking about it, and that's why Bernard called him."
Yep, guys, and once again, he's here every Sunday. But let's go into last night's main event on ESPN. And boy, I tell you what, pretty much everyone within the industry, they were picking Oscar Valdez. And you said it, and it was a matter of perception, Gogue.
Yeah.
Because of Emmanuel Navarrete getting hurt, visibly hurt by Liam Wilson, spitting out the mouthpiece. And then they compared that to Oscar Valdez, just making Swiss cheese of, the Alacran, Miguel Burchelt. And that created this perception that Oscar Valdez was going to whitewash, not just defeat, but wash Emmanuel Navarrete. Why were they so wrong?
Joe, like I said, I saw something they don't see. Okay? They thought, it's perception. They thought, oh my God, it's going to be a repeat of Alacran Burchelt. It's going to be Alacran Burchelt 2.0 because I had my fears going in. This kid is aggressive and physical, but he's easy to hit like Alacran Burchelt. But to me, this guy has a different type of, this is what separated me from all the motherfuckers. All right. Burchelt had a robotic style, predictable, just come forward, just try to bully you and outmuscle you. It's so predictable. Like Spence, one-dimensional. This motherfucker, he's not so predictable. He's awkward. You know what I mean? He's unpredictable. He's unorthodox. You know what I mean, Joe? And his punches come from all different angles, man. And it's long and rangy. Okay, Joe. He can stay outside and throw them awkward, rangy combinations and not get hit by the counter left hooks, because he can stay at range and pick you apart. You know, either to the body or up, you know, or to the head upstairs with that left uppercut, which he was nailing that Oscar Valdez with that uppercuts. Both of them. I knew that though, Joe. It's just the awkwardness, and you don't see it coming, Joe, and the suddenness, the way he throws it. And he's got a good feel, Joe. 1 second. One second, Joe. 1 second. This phone, man. I should have. Sorry, guys.
Ah, it's all right, brother. It's your show, man.
See. Yeah, but anyway, like I said, it's the awkwardness on the way and the unorthodox and unpredictability when he attacks you. You can't time him as good as that Alarcon Burchell, where I could close my eyes all day and hit him with everything. All right, this guy, he's a different type of predator, and when he throws, Joe, you know, he throws them, like I said, from different angles. But once he hits you with a good shot, boy, he doubles up on his combinations, triples up, quadruples you up. And the worst thing you could do is move backwards, which Oscar Valdez did. Like I said last week in the show, he don't need to back up straight, because if he does, he's going to get on the ropes, and this guy's going to, you know, it's going to be target practice and everything. So, like I said, Joe, it was this unorthodox, unpredictable offense attack where he hit you with all these combinations at weird angles you don't see other fighters do. You can't prepare for a style like that. Okay, it's hard to. And not only that, Joe, he has a good feel knowing when to put the pedal to the metal and when to back off. Okay, but yesterday, like on my breakdown last week, I said I was kind of worried, man, about my pick because his defense. I said, if his coach was smart, if you guys listened to the replay last week, I go, if his coach was smart, he would find a way to take away that counter left hook from Valdez. Okay, if he was smart, they haven't shown me it yet. He hasn't shown me the ability to adapt. Okay, defensively against an opponent's best weapon. Okay, and the second thing I said was to be more patient in his attack. Don't be overly aggressive like when he fought Joette Gonzalez or Liam Wilson, where he was getting hit with everything. Be patient. And I didn't think he had a jab yesterday. I said, this guy don't have a jab. But yesterday he showed me the patience, like a Terrence Crawford, to set everything up. Be patient. Work behind that jab. Be patient. Don't try to go rushing there recklessly, leave openings for your opponent to counter you like Valdez would. He worked patiently behind that jab. And Joe, not only does he work that jab, he'll lead with the jab, but his arms are so long from distance, he'll throw that right hand when you don't expect it, or throw a hook, or throw that left uppercut. He'll lead with them punches just to keep you off balance. You know what I mean? And it keeps you not so predictable, just working off a lot of fighters. Oh, just work off your jab, man, you become robotic and predictable. This guy, you know, he'll work the jab, then he'll sneak the right hand, he'll sneak that left uppercut in there, he'll lead with the left hook. He leads with different punches to keep you off balance. And I felt all the combination and all that stuff, and this combination punching, Joe, the awkwardness of his uppercuts, where they come from. What do you call it? The long ranging sweeping right hooks, the body shots. I thought, man, and his instincts on knowing when to put the pedal to the metal and to back you up. I didn't think Valdez would be able to deal with it. I was pretty much correct in my assessment.
Yep. And once again, guys, the cards were all over the place last night. Once again, and it's because, and once again, Lisa Jampa had the widest card, scoring at 119-109. Chris Wilson, 118-110, and Zachary Young, 116-112. That's how Gogue saw it. That's how I saw it. Yeah. But one of the reasons why, and there were several swing rounds, very close competitive rounds, not from volume, but from punches landed. And it was all contingent on how you saw and what you preferred, right? If you preferred the seemingly more crisp athletic, eye-catching shots. Well, then you gave those swing rounds to Valdez. And if you just enjoyed the sheer volume, and as it was breaking down, the consequence of breaking down and busting up Oscar Valdez's face, well, then you gave those swing rounds to Emmanuel Navarrete.
Yeah.
That's why there's such a huge discrepancy on the cards. And keep in mind, guys, once again, just because it's a wide card doesn't mean it's a close competitive fight. Because if you can make a case for Emmanuel Navarrete eking out 10 of the 12 rounds, then that's how it's scored. It doesn't mean it's a blowout, right? You can still have a close competitive fight and have it a shutout on the scorecards. That's just the way you score a fight, guys. So once again, don't look at all of this and say, oh, it's a robbery, the fix. Guys, none of that nonsense. Most of these fans don't know how to score a fight, nor do they know what they're looking at. And we hold all of you in the chat and listening to the show on replay with a much higher regard. If you're listening to Coach Gogue on Sunday, that means, you have a better idea of what you're looking at, guys.
You're learning stuff too. You're learning stuff you can't learn from nobody else. Being humble about it. All the little details, that I always bring out on the show. You can't learn this shit. You talk to another coach about this stuff, they wouldn't know. A lot of them, I mean, they might know this or that, but not the total package.
That is absolutely correct, guys. And once again, Gogue, not just an expert in what he sees in the ring, also an expert in the business, management, promotion, matchmaking, scouting. He's got it all, guys. And he gives it to you every Sunday.
Management, I know how it works, but man, that's not
don't sell yourself short, brother. Don't sell yourself short, my friend.
Yeah.
But
I know how it works. I know how it works, and I know what contracts you need to make your agreement between your fighter binding, legal and binding. But management, that's I know how to move. But as far as when you talk to them. When you try to negotiate and all that, man, that's you got to have a gift of gab and a patience when you try to, when you talk to people in the boxing business, because they could drive you nuts. And I ain't got time for that bullshit.
And there it is. And so we go to our first fact or fiction. Floyd, the honors, please.
Hey, we ain't ducking and dodging nobody. It's time for fact or fiction.
Fact or fiction, Gogue. Fact or fiction, Oscar Valdez will indeed seek a rematch with Emmanuel Navarrete, and it will be staged by the end of the year. Fact or fiction?
Yeah, it was a great fight, man. It deserves a rematch, yeah. Can you make adjustments to offset all the, what do you call it, attributes that Navarrete has? It's a different story, man. But yeah, if that rematch happens, the only way that rematch is won by Valdez is because Navarrete didn't prepare accordingly. Okay, you know what I mean? He didn't. He lost focus in his training. He gained a lot of weight, and when he went into camp, he wasn't focused on beating Valdez. He was more focused on losing the weight and everything, man. You know what I mean? But yeah, that rematch, it was good. It was good. It had a lot of sizzle to it. And Navarrete fought the best fight of his whole career. Okay, intelligent. He fought an intelligent, physical, aggressive fight. Not a reckless, lack of defense like you see in his other fights. A very technical, being defensive minded. Took away Oscar Valdez's biggest weapon consistently, that check left hook. He didn't rush in there wild like you've seen him against other opponents, but he was very precise and he was like a surgeon in there in his attack. Can that rematch happen? Yeah, top ranked. They're both with the same promoter. It was a great fight. Great fights usually warrant rematches, Joe. Look at Gaddy Ward. Motherfuckers, they got down 3 times. You know what I mean?
Yep, guys, purses for the bout, in case you were interested. I think Jesus M was asking me what the purses were.
Yeah,
for this weekend. Listen to this. You might be surprised. And once again, one of the things I love about Top Rank Boxing, they will pay you exactly what the market value dictates you're worth. Going into this fight, Emmanuel Navarrete, guaranteed $750,000. Oscar Valdez, guaranteed $1.1 million.
Oh, I can tell you why.
Let's hear it.
He's got a promoter. He's got to take care of from Mexico. He took his piece of the pie, probably half of it.
Yep. Talking about Sanford Promotions.
I don't know, Beckstar Promotions or
okay.
I don't know who was promoted. Beckstar, I think. Yeah, he's the guy that brought him up and took him to Top Rank. So when they negotiate the contract, they pay him, then he pays a Navarrete. Navarrete got less because they got, he's got a promoter. He's got another mouth he's got to feed. Valdez, he's with Top Rank, so he don't have to give that money out to nobody. You know what I mean? But he's got another promoter, and he's got to, take care of his promoter. I don't know. They usually take half. They shouldn't take that much. They should take maybe the guys already made. They should take 20% of what Top Rank. That's what I thought industry standard was 20% if you fight on another promoter's card. No, 30%. But geez, Mexican promoters 50%, man. Wow, that's why you got to have a good attorney that got your back, man. Okay, that's gonna negotiate for you and not leave any money on the table. That Navarrete should have got at least. How much did Valdez get? 1.1 million. He should have got more than that. Okay, he was a champion, but he's got his promoter. Yeah, I'm not going to get into nobody else's business, but I'm just telling you, his promoter, Beckstar, that Mexican promoter, he's got to get paid too, which is what do you call it? Proper thing to do, but that's between him and his promoter from Mexico, right? Well, there it is. There it is. And I'll tell you what, we want to thank RZ for tuning in, and thank you for the $20 super chat for the coach. He said, made some good money this weekend thanks to Coach's prediction. Thank you, sir. If you listened to me last week, you would have made even more money. Shit. The motherfuckers that listened to me last week made money. Then they went against me this week. They lost it all. Yeah. But anyway. Well, I tell you what. Jesus M says 400,000. Was that after he actually paid his attorney or his promoter? Because I was given the amount of 750,000. Joe, I know the details on all this, how it's broken down, but I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to get. Yeah. We have a lot to cover, a lot to go over. Thank you for the super chat once again, RZ. I'm glad Coach's knowledge paid off for you. Go ahead, sir. Listen, Joe, I'm not going to put their business out there, man. That's not cool, man. But I'm just saying that, his promoter had to get paid from Mexico. And there it is. And there it is, guys. Once again, the experts in the business as well. But guys, let's go to our next fact or fiction, right? Fact or fiction, Coach. Emmanuel Navarrete would prove to be the toughest style matchup for Shakur Stevenson at 135 pounds. Fact or fiction? Could be true. He's not Oscar Valdez, okay? Like I said, he has a different type of offensive attack and everything, man. It could be true, yeah, because just the way he approaches his opponent, the way he executes his offensive attack, it's just awkward, unpredictable, coming from all angles. It could be true, yeah. But that southpaw style and that ring intelligence, secure. Controlling that range and distance, his movement, and that's going to be tough for Valdez to deal with. And Valdez, if he does, they're looking for a dance partner for Shakur when he fights for the WBC title. If he does, they should pay him. They should reward him a lot more than what he made tonight because he deserved it. And if he doesn't win, at least at least keep his belt so he can defend his belt where he can make money. And there it is. Jesus Sam, welcome to the show, sir. He says, saludos, coach. Navarrete won 8 rounds clearly. Not close about. Valdez needs to retire. You know what? That's a huge misconception. And once again, coach, how do you feel about fans
throwing fighters in the trash after one tough loss?
Yeah, just go Arturo Gatti and Mickey Ward. They made a trilogy out of it, and they made good money. Yeah.
And there it is. And there it is. Thank you for joining us, Jesus. Denise, thank you for joining us, sister.
What up, Denise?
Again, she's been listening to you, Coach, for the past 12 years, sir.
I hope she made some money. I hope she made some money.
And there it is. And there it is. And Big Luke, welcome to the show, sir. And once again, he's been with you since the old East Side boxing days, Coach. Big Luke from New York.
Shit.
We love you, brother.
East Side boxing. God damn, that was a long time ago.
Thank you for joining us. And yes, I would like to thank James Gogue, Denise says.
Thanks. You're welcome, Denise. Send me my 33 and a third percent.
And welcome to the show, Mike. We appreciate you being here, brother. It says, I should have never bet against Goge's pick. I lost $70 on Valdez by KO.
Perception, baby. You had that perception like everybody else that the fight was going to end up like Alarcon Burchell when Valdez fought him. But man, I didn't follow the crowd. I'm going, like I said, I knew that style, man, that type of style, that type of predator that Navarrete is. And I'm like, man, I think he'd be too much for Valdez to handle.
Oh boy.
Perception. Boy. Even the motherfuckers that made the odds, they favored Valdez. I bet you them casinos lost a lot of money.
And there it is. There it is. Especially the ones in Arizona, guys. Refugio, welcome to the show, sir. He says, give Oscar back his tea. Holy shit. G-Funky also says this as a response to Jesus. Fans want the best to fight the best, and when they do, the fighter that loses needs to retire. Shake my head. Yeah, guys, come on. Come on, guys. And this is one of the reasons why. Because look, fighters and Gogue, you know this. Fighters, they read everything that the fans say on Twitter, on YouTube, on Instagram, everywhere, Facebook. Yeah. And they're not oblivious to the opinions and the harsh criticism that they receive after a loss. Guys, this is one of the reasons why, one, they either demand too much money for a big fight, a very tough, challenging, even money fight, right? Or they just, once again, are very reluctant to choose and to take those big challenges, take those risks in the ring. Guys, you need to stop it. Stop it, guys. It's a part of boxing. Someone has to win, someone has to lose. It's a pastime, guys. Right?
Look at the fighters in the past when they used to lose. They didn't give a shit. They came back and fought 3-4 weeks later.
That's it. That's it.
Sugar Ray Robinson versus Jake LaMotta. They had a war. I think it was in 1944. Don Chargan told me. He goes, that fight was so good. The public wanted a rematch. And, LaMotta got beat, convincingly by Robinson. That fight was so good. The fans wanted a rematch. They did the fight. They did the rematch 3 weeks later. Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah. And not only that, a week before the fight, a week before the rematch, Robinson wanted to stay sharp. So he took a 10-round tune-up against a guy named Charlie Wilson, who was rated number 10 in the world. Come on, man. Robinson had 3 fights in 3 weeks. Different type of animal back then. Oh.
Yeah, we'll talk about a gentleman who was perceived as someone who should retire as well. And he saved the Matchroom card that happened yesterday in London, right? And that's Robert Hellenius, the Nordic Nightmare. And we'll talk about his losing efforts to Anthony Joshua a little bit later. But we want to welcome also here to there. Welcome to the show, sir. Says salute, coach. Mr. Heron, what a war. But I have to question Eddie Reynoso's game plan with the game plan of loading up and waiting on single shots. Oscar could do more. Your thoughts on that, sir?
Yeah, he could have been more aggressive and pushed the action and got hit more too. He fought the best he could. Eddie had a good game plan, pick his moments to land a big counter left hook to hurt him. You know what I mean? If he would have pressed the action and was more physical, that's Navarrete's ball game, baby. He wants you he wants a war. He wants you to mix it up and everything so he can pick you apart with them uppercuts, the sweeping right hooks, them awkward combinations he throws, them body shots. This dude got long fucking arms. Joe, you look in boxing, ain't not too many fighters could do the shit he could do. Throw them awkward long combinations at range, the body shots at range. Joe, when you can do that, you're going to get hit less with return fire, man. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because his arms are, that's one thing I saw. Gilbert Chelt had regular short arms, okay? This guy had long length in his attack.
6-inch reach advantage against Oscar Valdez last night.
I didn't know that. I just had it in my mind. This guy had a lot of length on him, and he can exploit that, by keeping Valdez at range. And and his uppercuts, man. Oof. Oh.
Yeah, well, look. Valdez got busted up with volume, guys, but I thought Valdez fought a very competitive and game effort, right?
He's
and once again, you looked at his athleticism and look at Navarrete's connect percentage, according to CompuBox. And once again, it's not perfect, but yeah, he was making Navarrete miss a lot. But Navarrete, boy, give credit to his conditioning. That guy was in shape. He was sucking wind, but he kept going, and he kept throwing punches. Joe. And Oscar Valdez, he did a great job in using his athleticism, using his feet, using his upper body and head movement, making him miss a lot.
Navarrete, he's a fighter. When he gets tired, he can fight. He knows how to fight through fatigue. He knows how to fight when he gets hurt. That, to me, Joe, is a fighter. Remember, I always say, Joe, when adversity strikes, whether you're fatigued or you get hurt, first thing I want to see how you react. More important, how you're going to respond. And this motherfucker, boy, when he responds, he's a competitive, resilient warrior. He comes back firing. Oh, yeah, that Navarrete, that motherfucker might have only made $750,000, but he's a warrior.
Boy, he sure is. He sure is. And once again, we'll talk about someone who doesn't have, that same mental makeup in just a bit in the heavyweight division. We'll ask Gogue what his future holds, right? And I'm referring to AJ, right? And all of the criticism and all of the flowers that he's currently getting. It's kind of a mixed bag, guys. But G Funky also says, yeah, checks in the mail, coach. I love it. Also want to thank the Boxing Scholar. Welcome to the show, sir. And you know what? You said you're in San Antonio, man. We need to get together. There's an upcoming card that I'm a part of, August 26th at the Shrine Auditorium, and that's with AAA Promotions and South Park Boxing. I think I have your email address. I think you shot me an email. My apologies for being so busy, but I will correspond with you sometime this week. And hopefully we can get together at that card, Boxing Scholar. I would love to meet up with you, my friend. No. He had a show last night that I wasn't a part of.
Okay. Man, San Antonio, boy.
Well, I was a part of it, but not the part of the event. I helped him get sponsorship. That's it.
Look, San Antonio, you know what I mean? That's the way boxing used to be back in the days all over, man. A lot, fighters were kept busy on local club shows, okay? California, Texas, even Portland and Seattle, Don Chargan told me, man, boxing was booming back then. All over the Midwest, Pete Susan and him and Sean Gibbons, they used to do shows everywhere, from Oklahoma to Indiana, all in Nebraska, you name it, all the Midwest states, everywhere. Club shows were booming. Now you look at it, Sacramento is dead. Most of California, they don't do club shows because it's too expensive. It's too overregulated. Texas is the only state where, especially the San Antonio area, Rio Grande Valley area, Houston area, where, there's activity on the club level, man. It's keeping them fighters busy, but you don't see that. That's the grassroots of boxing, okay? Okay, they ain't these big fucking events. Them are rare, okay? They don't happen very often, okay? That's why the fighters make good money. It's the club shows, man, where you get all these fighters and they learn their craft, build their fan base on these events. But San Antonio, Man, that's probably the hottest market on the club show scene in the whole USA. Because everywhere you look, man, there's none. And
I tell you what, guys, Texas is thriving for regional and club shows.
Yeah.
It keeps me busy. But I tell you what, he also says, well, Coach, the fighter that you were referring to was Alexander Povetkin.
I think it was that juice guy. Yeah, I think it was. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, Boxing Scholar. We appreciate you being a part of the show, my friend.
Yeah.
And once again, I'm going to shoot you an email, brother, with my personal information. We'll be in touch this week. Hopefully we can make plans to meet up at our upcoming event with AAA Promotions on August 26th at the Shrine Auditorium on 1604. So thank you for joining us, my friend. Also, JD's Face is lurking. Welcome to the show, sir. And thank you for giving Coach his props, my friend. Also, Tyrese Bowie, he says, Coach, we made money again this week. Well, I won thanks to your expert opinion.
Tyrese, you made money. I didn't make no money. You feel me?
And Denise also says, more boxers need to get Coach Gogue's counsel for free, of course.
Man, I don't want to train. I got a couple guys right now. That's all I want. I don't want to train these motherfuckers out there, man.
Well, guys, would you like to express why you're in Mexico at this time? Once again, he used to train in Houston, in the Rio Grande Valley, in California,
Sacramento.
Yep.
I work with all three of the world champions there. Yeah.
Yeah.
The reason why it's changed. The fighters, the culture of the fighters change. I mean, Floyd Mayweather, when he started making this big money and Floyd, started flashing it and this and that. And then you got guys like Al Heyman that, these fighters were getting overpaid. Well, all the fighters saw that and their attitudes changed. I'll give you an example. Reason why I don't train fighters from America. They're soft. They're not as tough, mentally tough as the fighters in the past. And I'll give you an example. One fighter I ain't gonna mention. I got him a fight. First thing he said to myself, "Let me go talk to my mom and dad. See if the fight's okay." Now, you motherfucker! Don't supersede my decision. If I think a fight's good for you, we're gonna take it. All right. Next thing he goes, "Oh, do you have a YouTube video on him?"
And what level was this, Coach?
It's a 4-round fighter. Then
Holy shit.
Then all of a sudden he decides to take it. A day later, he goes, "I want more money." I said, "You know what?"
Wow.
I said, "Nah, the fight's off. You're not." I was so pissed off. Boom. And it's not. That's the culture that was pervasive. That's pervasive in boxing now. I mean, you see these motherfuckers, man. This Floyd, this Floyd Mayweather culture, man, that, he's good for boxing because it did him good, but it spread this poison, this attitude, the change in culture and everything about, these fighters overestimating their value. And this is a 4-round fighter. So you motherfucker, you a 4-round fighter. And, you're getting paid what? Back, in the Valley, they get paid, I don't know, I think $800 or something. And he wanted more money. I was like, get the fuck out of here, man. I ain't got time for your bullshit. I told him that. Yeah, get the fuck, go find another trainer. Bitch ass motherfucker, man. You know what I mean? and that's the way it is with everywhere. You get them a fight. Oh, let me talk to my mom. Let me talk to my dad. Let me talk to the guy that cuts my grass. Let me talk to the guy that cuts my hair. Then they'll come back. Oh, you got a YouTube video on him? Oh, we want more money. Man, it happens there. Or when I was with Golden Boy, when I had this fighter, comes to me, him and his coach come to me. You got a YouTube? Fuck. Motherfucker, you were a Golden Boy, man. Back then when you were, big, they don't sign anybody. So, this opponent that they got you, man, that's what he is. He's coming. They ain't bringing him in to win. Okay. He's an opponent. Good fight for you. That's going to, get you the rounds you need. And, when we need a YouTube video, man, fuck you, man. You know what I mean? I got tired of it. I don't mess with them no more. I don't train no American fighters.
Coach, did James Toney need a YouTube video at the 4, 6, and 8 round stages?
Fuck no, man. They put him on fight. He didn't give a shit. He just took the fight. Him and his coach. The coach approved the opponent. Yeah, let's go fight. And yeah, and if you never seen him fight, you'll figure once you get in the ring, you'll figure him out. Okay, and that's what fighters I got now, man. You know what I mean? I don't know much about them. You know what I mean? If I can't, hey man, we'll figure them out when we get in the ring. Okay, when that bell rings, we'll figure them out.
And there it is, and there's your answer, guys.
I don't mess with American fighters, man.
And Joseph Brown, welcome to the show, sir. Salute, Coach James and Joseph. Salute. Valdez versus Navarrete was a good-ass fight. Yes, it was, sir.
It was, JB. Excellent.
Well, hopefully we get to see it again. Clinton Jackson, welcome to the show, sir. It was a good fight. I thought Navarrete's footwork was terrible and sometimes was very wide with his punches. An elite boxer would shred him. Someone like Shakur. Do you agree with that, Coach?
But he does have his balance. His footwork and his feet get tangled up sometimes. But when he does have his balance, okay, and when he gets into that offensive flow, yeah. Let me see Shakur's flip, make a miss on all those combinations he's gonna throw at them weird angles. Shakur, he never seen a fighter with that awkward, unorthodox, unpredictable attack like Navarrete's gonna throw at him. Them loop, them lead uppercuts, coming from different angles. He ain't gonna be able to see. You know what I mean? Yeah, Shakur, if you're a fundamental fighter and does, do stuff, the fundamental way, predictable way, he'll pick you apart. But this guy is not. He's not fundamental, man. In his attack, okay. He fights off instinct, okay. And when he puts his punches together, he'll throw every punch in the book, man, where he sees an opening, man, where you don't expect it. Like Valdez was trying to rush him in there. He would just wham, hitting him with them uppercuts, busting that eye up more, man. Yeah, or he'll double up on that left uppercut. You know what I mean? You don't see fighters like Navarrete, man. Not with that type of offensive attack. That's why I said to myself, man, Valdez is going to have a problem with him. That offensive attack, unorthodox, unpredictable. Yeah.
Yeah, for guys, and once again, go back to Alexis Arguello and Aaron Pryor. For some textbook classic fighters, textbook fighters, sometimes that unorthodox, strange disjunct motion, punches coming from all angles, that could be a virtual nightmare for them in the ring.
Yeah, you never seen that before. You can't time it. You can't see him. That's a good example, Joe. Pryor, he was an excellent example. Throwing punches from just different angles. He moved at different angles. And you come out and punch like shit. You know what I mean?
Yep, that's why they fight the fights.
Block all of them and everything.
And so thank you for being a part of the show, sir. Low Clarity, welcome to the show, sir. He says Navarrete threw over 1,000 damn punches. Yep, he was a machine, guys. He was a machine. And once again, it almost seems like going back to Emmanuel Stewart's and what he used to profess. Look, if you combine speed or if you combine power with volume, you sacrifice speed. And a lot of times you'll see Navarrete, boy, he looks slower than molasses, but it is effective for him, isn't it?
He throws a lot of, he mixes the intensity of his punches up. He'll touch you with a lot of punches. They don't hit you with a hard one. You know what I mean? He gets in the rhythm by just touching you with a lot of punches. Bum, bum, boom, then boom, boom. Okay? That's what he does. He'll touch you, then boom, 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 boom. Then if he sees you hurt, he'll double and triple up your combinations, push you back.
There it is. There it is, guys. And it's, I tell you what, it's very effective. And they don't teach that in the gym, do they, Coach?
Look, man, all you need Navarrete was a fucking fighter. You just get him in shape, get him sharp on the hand pads, let him go. He'll know what to do. He's a veteran, Joe. He knows how to handle the situations in the ring, especially when adversity strikes. He knows how to keep calm and compose. And like I said, respond when adversity strikes. He's a resilient competitor, mentally tough, high degree of mental intestinal fortitude. He's a motherfucking fighter, that Navarrete. Yeah.
I tell you what, Marcus Chaz, welcome to the show. Joey, He says, Joseph, Navarrete versus Valdez was a better fight than Undisputed. I'll say it was more competitive. But because of the stage, boy, that performance of Terrence Crawford had some sizzle. It still is. People are still buzzing about it. It was a star-making performance. You can't compare the two. I will say this, though. Congratulations to Omaha, Nebraska for recognizing the greatness of Terrence Crawford and for throwing him a parade. It's long overdue.
He deserves it. Yeah.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
And he's turning mainstream, Joe. Man, that's kind of shocked me. I seen him on all these mainstream shows. I'm like, damn, okay, he's becoming like Floyd Mayweather. He's transcending over.
That's it.
Okay.
It was a star-making performance, guys. And you know what? Bob Arum knew it. He said, look, all I need is to get him the right dance partner, get him the right platform, and we can make this guy a big star. He invested. He paid him inflated purses because he knew he was going to big star. He had that potential. Well, too little, too late, Bob, unfortunately. He gambled and it didn't pay off for him. But it happens in boxing more often than fans might think, doesn't it, Coach?
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, unfortunately. See, fighters are not mainstream like they were in the past because they're not being shown on mainstream TV like ABC, NBC, CBS. Back in the days, fighters were mainstream because every week they were shown on mainstream outlets where the whole United States watched and casual fans watched, not just the hardcore diehard fans watched. You know what I mean?
Yep. That's it. And guys, I want to welcome the Boxing Source to the show. What's up, Joe? What's up, Coach Gogue? Thank you for always supporting the coach on Sunday. And guys, if you haven't heard his weekend review, go check it out. It's already up, but after the show, please. And if you guys haven't already subscribed, please go subscribe to my brother James. He's going to help me welcome back Ronnie Shields this Tuesday night. Guys, don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of the content. We've got James Gogue every Sunday, Rick Glazier every Monday, co-hosted by my brother G Funky, and Real Boxing with Coach Ronnie Shields, co-hosted by my brother James every Tuesday night. Right.
Besides me, they got two other excellent boxing people that are knowledgeable of the sport. Yeah. So
there it is. Thank you, Coach Gogue. That's very humble of you, sir. I tell you what, welcome, Platinum Fights. Always love your comments. Always really appreciate your insight on the chat, my friend. He says Valdez didn't use feints. He was missing over and over, throwing with it setting up shots. Should have feinted his way and froze him and then started firing. No jab, throwing from too far away. Coach, your thoughts?
No matter what Valdez was going to do. This guy had his number yesterday, man. You know what I mean? That you better have more than a feint when you're fighting a guy like Navarrete that, comes, when he starts putting that leather on you, okay, and putting them combinations together, a feint ain't going to do shit, okay?
Yeah, right. Look, Coach, when do you predominantly use feints? When you're dealing with a very heavy-handed counterpuncher, right?
Look, man, feints work the best. Crawford, when he fought Spence, Loretto Gar, I learned this from first world champion I ever got to work with. He taught me, he goes, feints work the best feints work the best after you nail your opponent, okay? When you nail your opponent with shots, then you feint them, it freezes them, okay? That's when the feints work the most effective. Crawford, when he was nailing Spence with them hard shots, Spence was like, tentative, especially the jab. When he kept on hitting him with that jab, Spence was, getting hit, and all of a sudden he started feinting him, and Spence would go like this. That's all Spence was thinking about, was that, getting hit by that jab. He didn't think about getting hit by them catching counters, the body shots, you know what I mean? Step back counters. He was only thinking about, hey, man, how do I defend myself against that jab? Because that's all, when you're getting hit by that jab consistently, okay, you don't worry about it. You're not too concerned about his other weapons he's gonna, fire on you with. And then when you start feigning effectively, When you start fainting, it starts freezing up even more. It takes him out. It takes him out of his game plan. Takes him out of rhythm. But mainly, when you start fainting him good after you nail him with shots, psychologically he starts breaking down. He starts forgetting what he has to do to win the fight. Okay, he just freezes up and everything. So that feint, shit. Them feints wouldn't have worked because Valdez was nailing this guy with a lot of hard shots to get his attention. Okay, so if you would have feinted him, a feint is not effective unless you can nail your opponent with some hard shots. Then if Valdez was nailing them with some hard shots and controlling that, controlling the fight, then them feints would work more effectively. But just the feint, man, it's a bluff. Valdez ain't gonna respect that. You know what I mean? So that's a lesson in the value of a feint. You know what I mean? And a feint too, though. It's good at disrupting your opponent's timing rhythm. Okay, like a fighter's you throw a jab and a fighter's trying to time you and go over your jab. Hey, okay, you feint his ass. You feint him. You know what I mean? It disrupts their timing and rhythm. Okay,
that's it.
There's many uses of a feint, but it's most effective after you nail that guy with some good shots. Wow. Got his attention, then you start feinting him, and he starts going like this. He's worried about getting hit by you. Okay, then you put that jab in his face, keep busting him up with the jab. Okay, now he's worried about your jab. Then you feint him, and he starts going like this. Okay, you got him. When you see a fighter start going like this, that means okay, he's worried about getting hit. Then when you hit him with the jab, you start feinting him, Joe. He starts going like this. The left hook, right hand is gonna land. Once you feint him. When you throw that jab and you nail him, then you feint him. He goes like this. The left hook, that right hand right down the middle, because that left hook is going to get his distraction and it's going to get his eyes moving to his right. Then that right hand comes right down the middle. You don't see it. Yeah, it's a science. You got to know how to set up your combinations. Okay, it's an intelligence. But feints. If you know how to use your feints, if you know how to use your feints and you know how to use your jab, you can set up your combinations better. But Valdez, Navarrete boy was just, the key was he was patient in his attack and he took away Valdez's big counter check left hook, okay, where Valdez couldn't get that momentum, couldn't hurt him and everything. Then if he did that, then he would have, if he hurt him, it would have got his attention. Then them feints would have worked. He would have started biting on it like Earl Spence did last week. But he did nothing to get this guy's put fear into Navarrete. Okay, them feints wouldn't have did nothing. It was just a bluff, like bitch. Yeah, keep throwing that shit.
Thank you for the insightful comment and question, brother. It always provides a lot of nuggets from the coach, brother.
Yeah, but feints, they work best when you know your guy with a couple punches. You start feinting him. When you start seeing him doing this, okay, it's working. Yeah.
And there it is. G Funky says, yeah, boxing fans are the worst. Throwing fighters away after they lose 50,000 fans. We're there to see the 49ers versus the Raiders for preseason image of boxing fans. Imagine if boxing fans were like that.
Yeah.
That's the difference, guys. That's why NFL is on mainstream network TV for free, because they have the fan support. Right? They have the fan support. Boxing, not that lucky. I've got to go out and hunt down, solicit sponsorship for all these regional and club shows. Okay? NFL, the networks, boys, sponsors come flocking to the product. That's the difference. That's the difference. Okay? And why? Because they have the fan support. They've got the eyeballs on the product.
Well, Joe,
G Funky's absolutely right.
Yeah, it's because of social media, man. It gives a fan to express their opinion. You know what I mean? So everybody can see it. Back in the days, they didn't have all this social media. So after you lost a fight, you didn't have to hear all this criticism. How you're a bum, you should retire, and all this. But now, you get on social media and these keyboard warriors talking shit that never took a punch in their life. You know what I mean? And so hey Joe, that's why I'm on Instagram. I keep my low profile Facebook. I got a shitload of friend requests, but I don't add them on. If I don't know you, I don't add your motherfucking ass, man. I don't need the drama. I don't need extra people, coming in and give me the 2 cents, man. And I'm not on Twitter now. I closed my Twitter. I might open it again for this boxing page, but nah, man. I'm just I try to keep low profile. So you want to try to criticize me, try to find my ass, motherfucker. I'm not on social media.
Yeah, guys, and more, a lot of trainers and fighters, well, not fighters, they need to do this to promote their brand, but a lot of people in the business, yeah, they're slowly gravitating off of social media because of, well, the fans. Yeah. Guys, show some respect.
Oscar De La Hoya gets tired of that shit, man, but he's learned to deal with it. You know what I mean? Dealing with these dumb, sometimes he'll argue with the fan, but I'm like, it's better just to block him than argue him. As soon as you see something stupid, block. First, no. What I do now, if I see something, I'll talk shit to him, make him read it, just clown the guy. Then after that, after he reads it, I block him. Yeah.
And there it is. I tell you what, we're running out of time. We're already an hour in. We haven't even talked about AJ, Anthony Joshua. So, well. Yeah. So let's do that at this time.
Hey, we ain't ducking and dodging nobody. It's time for Fact or Fiction.
Thank you, Floyd. Fact or Fiction coach Malik Scott is correct when he states Anthony Joshua would get destroyed by Deontay Wilder within 4 rounds. Fact or fiction, sir?
If he lands that right hand, it's over with, man. That Wilder is fast, it's sharp and crisp. It's like a cruise missile. It sees its target, laser guided, boom, and explodes on impact. Oh yeah, that motherfucker Wilder. You can say what you say about him, but that motherfucker can hit. Explosive puncher, and I can see Malik is polishing up his boxing skills that he never displayed before. His jab is becoming a primary source of weapon, sharp and crisp, setting up that right hand. See, Wilder, back there, you touch it, just to land it. Now, from what I see on the internet and see him working the pads, I want to see it in the fight. That jab is starting to become assertive. Okay, he's starting to make that his top weapon. And if Wilder makes his jab his top weapon, that right hand is going to follow. If he makes his jab the number one weapon, he's going to be very hard to beat. Oh, that motherfucker can hit at Wilder. Yeah.
I tell you what, though, let's go to yesterday's card from London, England. Anthony Joshua improved his record to 26 wins and 3 losses, getting his 23rd knockout at the expense of the game, Robert Elenius. He got the 7th round KO, and boy, it was a 1-punch knockout. He set it up beautifully. Coach, would you like to take us through that?
Motherfucker, I fell asleep. I saw the replay. It was a boring fight. The guy fought tentative like he don't got that fire in him. He ain't got that pit bull like I want to whoop your ass. He fought very tentative. Bitch motherfucker. You know what I mean? And what that punch he landed, man, was he threw a jab up top. Then he threw a jab downstairs. It distracted Helenius. Then he threw that right hand over the top. The same type of combination Inoue threw against Fulton. But yeah, that Joshua, man, that motherfucker, man. He ain't got that championship mentality, that fire in him no more. Just watching his last 2 fights, that shows me everything, Joe. You know what I mean? Here's a guy who made a lot of money, and he's just trying to cash out. That's all. That fight with him and Wilder should have happened a long time ago, man. But both motherfuckers in this era, like typical Baja, I'm the A side. I deserve all the money and all the bullshit. So the fight fell to the wayside, and it could have been the hottest heavyweight fight probably of the century, or one of them if it happened. But these motherfuckers, man, they played them little games. And it didn't happen. Now these guys are Joshua's 35, Wilder's, I don't know, 36. I don't know where he is. But Yeah, man. Joshua, yeah, man. This motherfucker, he ain't got that fire in him, that, that killer. Like when he fought Vladimir, when he was coming up. He's made a lot of money, Joe. When you make a lot of money, you get soft. Okay, you change as a person. Okay, all right. When you're hungry and coming up, man, you want to get there to the top of the mountain. But when you get there, complacency sets in. Complacency, I would say, is a fighter's worst enemy. Worst enemy. When you start making that money, it changes you, man. Complacency is a fighter's worst enemy. Okay.
And there it is, because Coach Gogue fell asleep in the third round.
Oh.
Joseph Brown, he takes us through it. He says AJ was able to finally execute what Derek James asked him to do between rounds: throw the jab to the chest, throw the jab, the right, and throw the right. He did that fight over. AJ gained some confidence, and he's active. That is true. But will it be enough, Coach, versus Deontay Wilder in January, sir?
Wilder's 6'7". He's got that length and reach. You just keep him on the outside. AJ's going to be tentative and scared. Don't want to take no chances because he don't want to get hit by that right hand. So, that jab, the key is the jab for Wilder. Okay, once he hits him with that jab, that right hand, he can hit him with that right hand. He's got the right distance and let it go. But AJ is going to be, real hesitant and trying to avoid getting hit by that right hand. So if I was Wilder, I'll throw that right hand to the body. Different locations just to get his, give him, just to get that thing on his mind. You know what I mean? That that right hand ain't going to be coming. I'm not going to be headhunting. I'm going to go for your body too. But that jab is going to be the key, man. And Wilder, if he understands how to use his range and distance, like a Shakir or Terrence Crawford, he gonna bust him up with that jab. If from what I've seen on the hand pads, Malik's work on it, if they could do that and replicate it to a fight situation, he could bust him up with that jab. Because Wilder's, he's long and rangy and athletic, man. You know what I mean? And when that right hand comes, he could be like Thomas Hearns, whack, whack, boom.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, they're both long in the tooth, though. But yes, I think all of the inactivity in this case with Deontay Wilder, I think, just like Milk, did the body good, in my opinion. And all of his work, woodshedding with trainer Malik Scott, I think it's going to pay dividends in the twilight of his career. And guys, don't be shocked if we see next year a fourth fight between Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. They might stoke that demand once again if they get two big victories, and albeit it would be very impressive. Deontay Wilder over Joshua, and Tyson Fury, against Alexander Usyk. Those are the two big fights that the Saudis are circling for January, guys.
Okay. Yeah.
And there it is. Thank you for pointing that out, Joseph. We really appreciate it. And look, I will say this. Anthony Joshua was very humble in victory, and he was very gracious in thanking Robert Elenius for saving the event. Because once again, Dillian White tested positive, Coach Gogue. His third time testing positive, right? And I want to get your thoughts on this because Derek Chisora, he was in the co-main event. What a waste of time that fight was. But he said something at the final press conference. And this was after we spoke on Sunday. So I need to get your thoughts on this. He said, you know what? Screw these guys. They deserve, if they need drugs to beat a kid, a young fighter, and possibly hurt him, like career-altering injury, right? If it's serious injury, these guys, look, they need something that's going to get their attention and deter them away from trying to take this shit. Give them a 10-year ban. And these strength and conditioning coaches, because you have to think someone is giving these fighters these drugs.
Yeah.
If they're attached to their conditioning.
Yeah. Joe, we got broken off. You're there, Joe. We probably got broken off. Yeah. Here's my opinion. This guy got caught. That's his third time he got caught. Come on, man. It's time to, give him a suspension for life. He got caught not once but twice. End it, man. End his career, man. Because these heavyweights, especially, it goes all the way back to the 90s, man, when the heavyweights started using that shit. Then, coming to the turn of the century, heavyweights started using, what do you call it? It became more prevalent in the lower weight divisions, okay? Yeah, and, I don't want to mention names, but you guys know who I'm talking about. Floyd had a lot of to say about it and everything. But, yeah, that stuff, man, if you do it right, it makes you more faster and explosive, and it makes you hit harder, and it could cause a lot of permanent physical damage to you. Yeah, if you get hit by those.
Sorry, I was suffering from some Wi-Fi issues, and I was breaking up probably. But I thought the part that was the most interesting, Coach, that he stated was the strength and conditioning coaches attached to these fighters, because someone is giving them these drugs. Give them a lifetime ban. Kick them out of our sport. Do you agree with that, Coach? Because once again, Emmanuel Stewart pointed out to me a long time ago. Yeah. Look, before these assholes infiltrated our sport, we never had to worry about someone pissing hot.
Yep.
Never. And as soon as they came and infiltrated our sport, we always have to worry about that now.
Oh, yeah.
Your thoughts?
Yeah, I remember back in the early 2000s, this one well-known strength conditioning coach who was a strength conditioning coach to a lot of professional athletes, football players, Major League Baseball players. And, I got to know him real good. And he was telling me, hey, man, maybe your guy should start using that. I'm like, I don't know. He goes, man, everybody's going to, he goes, you're going to get left behind if you don't. Everybody's using it. And meaning a lot of baseball players, NFL football players, and, a lot of well-known baseball players he worked with and everything. I'm not going to throw him under the bus, but I know, and they got caught with that shit. But anyway, it's Emmanuel Stewart once called the strength and conditioning coach. Strength and conditioning coaches, the drug pushers of professional boxing. Yeah,
that's exactly what he used to call them, the drug pushers of professional boxing. And I think,
and he called this one gym Juice Central. He didn't trust none of the fighters coming out of that gym. He thought they were all on that shit. Yeah.
Yeah, Emmanuel noticed the problem, and boy, he made it a big issue when Chavez fought Andy Lee and knocked him out in El Paso. Do you remember how small that ring was? Boy, Emmanuel was just on fire that weekend.
Then afterwards, they were going to give him the drug test, and he got the hell out of Dodge, and nothing happened.
He got out of there, and nothing happened to him. Emmanuel was furious.
Oh, yeah.
He was convinced that he was juicing to the nines. Big Luke says, Joseph, do you know any celebrity impressions in Spanish? Look, the only one I'll do, and see if you can guess who this is, right? El gran campeón hecho en México, Julio César Chávez Jr. It's a dear friend of mine, man. Lupe Contreras. Yeah.
Oh, Lupe, my man.
Yeah,
my man.
It's good to see him on DAZN. Oh, speaking of which, Coach, we have a question. G Funky says, Coach, did you watch Giovanni Marquez on Friday? And if you did, what were your thoughts?
Just another day at the office. I talked to my nephew afterwards. I told him just another day at the office. Don't get excited. Just another. You did what you're supposed to do. When you're fighting a bum, you treat him like a bum. You knock him the fuck out and get rid of him. Okay, don't carry him. All right, just another day at the office. No big deal.
Yep. And there it is. Teach, want to welcome you to the show, sir. Thank you for always supporting the coach, brother, every Sunday. I tell you what, that card from London, aside from the main event of the evening, boy, it was a huge, colossal waste of time. Once again, Ergovich had a, tough, gritty, but closed the show in the 12th round, knocking out formerly undefeated Dempsey McKeon, right? Improving his record to 16-0, right? With 13 knockouts.
That's Ronnie's guy.
Ronnie's guy. And we'll talk to Ronnie all about it on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Now, once again, I haven't spoken to him since, but I was texting him after the fight, and you can't always tell from text how someone feels, but he didn't seem all that thrilled about the performance. He seemed happy with the knockout, but yeah, we'll talk all about it though on Tuesday, guys. Something to look forward to. Our next fact or fiction, Floyd. Please.
Hey, we ain't ducking and dodging nobody. It's time for fact or fiction.
Thank you, Floyd. We appreciate it, brother. And Coach, fact or fiction, lack of TV dates and moving prospects too quickly are the biggest problems concerning PBC at this time.
I would say so. Yeah. I mean, by the time you got 6, 7, 8 fights, they want you to really fight 10 rounders against good fighters. You know, you can compare the differences on the way Top Rank moves fighters and the way PBC moves his fighters. Top Ranks takes their time and nurtures them through the 4s, the 6, the 8s, and they don't move you into the 10 rounds until they know you're ready. PBC, you know, they ain't got the patience, and they just throw you in there, man. You know, after you get a few fights, there's this and that, and boom, they'll just put you in there. They don't give you that proper development, man. Brad Goodman, the best in the boxing business in developing fighters, matchmaking wise, he understands, you know, the process and everything. And that Emiliano Vargas, he fought a 4-round fight yesterday. Okay. Yep. Now, if he was with PBC, they would rush him and try to, you know, put him in an 8-round fight against a tough guy he ain't gonna be ready for. You know what I mean? It's just, you know, they do it the right way, the Don Chargren way. Top Rank, Brad Goodman, who came up pretty much when I got into business back in '83. He was a young kid, learned from Bruce Trampler, learned from Teddy Brenner, and he learned this craft. And the club shows were, making matches on all those club shows, especially when he moved to Vegas at the Orleans when they used to do club shows. Brad was a matchmaker there, and you know, like I said, he cultivated his craft over the years, where he's an expert on this shit. He knows how to develop guys. Like I use toilet paper or ride a bike. Okay, Brad is the best, and he has good instincts. Okay, he developed over the years on knowing when to move a fighter and when the fighter's right and when the fighter's not. One opponent is right for his fighter and one opponent is not. Because there's a couple of times I remember I tried to sneak in an opponent to one of his fighters. And he looked at me, man. He goes, nah, he ain't ready for that guy yet. Yeah. Or PBC. Yeah. We'll make the match. You know, they would have took it. Okay.
That guy's, you look at 2 blue chip prospects losing within the span of a month. First with Yoelvis Gomez. And then now, last night, if you watch the Showtime broadcast, Trayvon Marshall gets knocked the F out by old man.
Gabriel
Maestre. Now, once again, it was a 6-0 versus a 5-0-1. But you know, Coach, Gabriel, this is an old seasoned grizzled veteran.
He only has, Joe, look, he only has, I don't know, 6 fights.
That was his.
He has over 500 amateur fights at the highest level. Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's why I'm saying that those records are very misleading.
Yeah.
That shouldn't have taken place last night. Trayvon Marshall showed a lot of promise leading up to that fight. Now, boy, he got knocked out brutally, Coach. Knocked through the ropes,
man. Look at PBC. They ain't got no fighters they got coming up. They're developing. Okay, nope. They gotta get guys like that Garcia, the junior lightweight, or guys like what do you call it? The middleweight guy, that ugly guy, Adames.
Yep.
Yeah, they gotta get guys like that are already made. Yep. Okay. Yep. Or you know what I mean? They got to get guys like that are already made, man. But they don't know how to develop fighters. Gomez is a perfect example. Gomez, they rushed way too fast. Top Rank would have never done that, man. That's just a piss poor example. PBC, they're matchmaking like everybody gets decided. Oh, I'm with Al. Al ain't going to take care of you and protect you no more. He's going to let everything he's going to do for his matchmakers. Them days of protecting certain fighters like Omar Figueroa or his brother Brandon, coming up and making sure they had the right fights. Them days are over, man. If you're a prospect, they're going to make you fight like that kid from my area. His name is Omar Juarez. They threw him in tough fights. They threw him in a fight too early in his career. The Filipino guy he lost to. Then they put him in this another tough fight against
Cuban,
that veteran guy.
Rancis Barthelemy. Yep.
As kids, they didn't develop them the right way. They rush you. Okay, they take you from step A to Z, and then you don't go through the process. And you know what I mean? Unless you're an exceptional talent, you'll be able to overcome. You don't need to go through that process like a Lomachenko. And they thought this Gomez guy with his talent, his amateur background, you know what I mean? He could be like Lomachenko and fast track his ass. Yeah.
Yep. We'll see how that worked out. Yeah. And once again, in the main event, and here's another problem. Once again, their roster is still massive. And when you consider they only have the Showtime dates to work with, well, you get these fighters. Once again, Emmanuel Rodriguez was fighting for the vacant IBF Bantamweight Championship, and he was coming off of a spectacular performance in which he just whooped the ass of Gary Antonio Russell. But that was last October, Coach, on the undercard of Deontay Wilder and Robert Elenius. So now they're bringing him back, and no one even remembers that. So once again, exactly, and he beat Melvin Lopez, knocking him down twice, or knocking him down 3 times in the final round, getting the wide UD12 in capturing, and congratulations to him. But this entire card was flying under the radar because no one remembered how good or what Emmanuel Rodriguez did to get this opportunity.
Yeah.
No one cared.
Yeah. Everybody, the only one fight they wanted to watch that night was Navarrete Valdez. They didn't give a shit about this card. You look at the ratings, they probably drew 100,000 people with that, Joe.
Maybe. Yeah. Yep. I'll tell you what, I want to give a big shout out to Eric R. Salute, fellas. Good call, Coach. I picked against Oscar Valdez. I felt like he was declining in the past 3 outings. Okay. Well, good for listening to Coach, brother. Hope you made some money. Big Luke, my girlfriend says, very well done. Man, I want to thank you and your lovely girl for joining the Coach on Sunday night, brother. Big Luke, we love you on the show, man. You're my brother, and we consider you family, my friend. God bless you, my friend. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Eric R. says, am I the only guy who sees Wilder versus AJ looking similar to Wilder versus Brazil?
Could be.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
Oh boy, but you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it in January, guys. Yes, sir.
Look at all the heavyweights that PBC are developing. None. They have nothing coming behind Ruiz, Wilder. They have nothing. Nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh boy. Yep.
What I'm trying to say, long-term success. It's not good for an organization like PBC if they don't develop the next stars in boxing. Because Charlo's have been up there. The Charlos, Spence, Danny Garcia. They're going to become retreads. Well, Danny Garcia is a retread. And certain fighters, a lot of them are retreads, and they ain't got no stars coming behind them to take the place, man. So top rank, longevity, long term, they'll be in better position and everything.
Yep, it's all about keeping that pipeline filled, and right now the pipeline of prospects at PBC, well, not looking good. Not looking good.
And they develop fighters.
And they have no concept of cultivating and nurturing that talent.
Well, they don't have the patience, to do it. They got good matchmakers there, man. But
Tom Brown. Yep.
Yeah, they got excellent Tom Brown, who will be a Hall of Famer one day. Ron Katz, who's excellent, but they got their marching orders. Hey, man, let's move these guys fast. If they can't cut the mustard, then hey, they ain't made the. You know what I mean? We'll just find somebody else. But
that's terrible. That's terrible.
Yeah, you gotta do it the right way, long term. But Top Rank's been in the business, well, I don't know, 50, 60 years. I can't remember. I remember this when I was a little kid. But they've had success, long term success, because their ability to develop these fighters. Every 4 years, a new crop of fighters come out from the Olympics. Guys that didn't make the Olympic team, okay, guys that turn pro. Every 4 years, 84, 88, 92, they always get a new crop of fighters coming out, turning pro, and they sign who they feel the best talented prospects are, and they develop to the best of their ability. Do all of them make it? Absolutely no. But a good, all they need is a few percentage of them making it for their company to be successful.
And there it is. Want to welcome Pounds to the show. Salute Joseph and Coach Gogue. Salute to you, brother. And thank you for always supporting the coach, my friend. Thank you, brother. So talking about prospects now, Coach, we're going to go back to the first card that we mentioned. Floyd. Please.
Hey, we ain't ducking and dodging nobody. It's time for Fact or Fiction.
Final Fact or Fiction of the night, sir. We only have a couple minutes. Fact or Fiction, Raymond Murataya is a better-looking prospect than Lindolfo Delgado for Robert Garcia and promoter Top Rank.
Oh,
Fact or Fiction?
Without a doubt, but I got kind of suspicious about how this fight. He was supposed to fight a good friend of mine, W.A.W. Torres, one of the top prospects, one of the top fighters coming out of Mexico. 17-0, 16 knockouts. He's with Fernando Beltran. Well, 2 days before the fight, all of a sudden he pulls out because they say he got injured in training. The fuck is that about? You usually get injured in training, 2 weeks before the fight. Okay, in sparring or something, this or that. So me personally, Joe, I got suspicions. I think he had weight problems and he couldn't make the weight.
Yep.
That's me. I might be wrong, but my gut feeling is it wasn't an injury. It was weight problems. And that was a great fight, man. I wanted to see because my guy, Azabachi Diego, he really trained his ass off the last 2 months, made a lot of sacrifices, got great sparring in Guadalajara, where he's from, made sacrifices, like running the mountains in the high altitude over there, all this shit, just being disciplined, doing the things he had to do to be successful in this fight. And all of a sudden this motherfucker pulls out of the fight because, what do you call it? Supposedly an injury, and Diego was already over there, man. I know, what I mean. You're gonna get injured. You usually know a week. You usually know the week before the fight. You get final day sparring. You got hurt. Man, I don't know, man. To me, that's kind of suspicious. Muratala. So his, what I mean. And Top Rank probably knows the truth. And if they're probably yeah.
Well, I tell you what, G Funky says I really like Lindolfo Delgado. Yeah, there's a lot to like. What did you think of his performance last night, though, Coach?
Uninspiring. Look, he had an opportunity to himself. He had an opportunity to make a star performance out there. Okay, he was a co-main event. Everybody was watching. Big fight, a big fight. Everybody was anticipating. He had the co-main event against a friend of mine, a guy that comes spars with my guys all the time, Jair Valtiera. And he had a chance to, make a star-making performance. And what did he do? He fucking went out there and just did enough just to win the fight. Okay? To me, that's not good enough, man. Bernard Hopkins, G Funky, he told me this back in the 90s. We were in training camp. He was getting ready to fight Glenn Johnson, his third title defense. He just became middleweight champion. After we watched him spar, he came out of the ring, came up to us, and he goes, "Winning ain't good enough. I gotta look good." Okay, you gotta look
He's
good.
Right.
And this fucking guy, he didn't look good. He just I was like, man, get rid of this. Man, this fight is boring, man. He didn't want to take no chances, moving in and out of range too much, not wanting to press the issue, stay in the pocket, and try to take it to Jair, and it would have been a better fight. You know what I mean? And Jair should have pressed the issue on this guy too. And he was being very tentative and everything, man. But it was It was just a fucking a fight that should have been shown off TV, to tell you the truth. And he didn't show me shit, that Delgado. You know, man. Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, and there it is. That's all we have time for, guys. 90 minutes in. Yeah. Hopefully, well, guys, I will say this. Please subscribe and please hit the like button. And don't forget to subscribe to our brother G Funky Boxing, who's going to be co-hosting Real Talk with Rick Glazier. We're going to talk all about the business. We're also going to talk, well, about Rick Glazier's recent run-in with that fraud manager, Marty, who tried to make an example out of Rick. And look, we're not going to tolerate that on this show. You try to make an example out of someone, exactly. If you try to make an example out of someone, a real guy in this business, well, we're going to make an example out of you, and we're going to do it tomorrow. So don't forget to like and subscribe to my brother G Funky's Boxing. Also, if Coach Gogue's schedule permits, look forward to an upcoming appearance later this week from Maestro Coach Gogue on G Funky's channel. Guys, stay tuned for that. Any parting shots for our listening audience tonight, sir?
No, I'm tired, man. I got a long, they postponed. we had a fight. They postponed it a couple of weeks. So, I gave my guy, a little bit of time off just to, not to get burnt out and overdo it in training camp. So gave him some time off, be with his family. And, we're going to get back to the grind. What do you call it? As soon as we get this date, Mexico City ironed out and everything.
So I'm going to leave this up here. Once again, RZ, thank you for the $20 super chat. And he said, made some good money this weekend thanks to Coach Gogue's prediction. Thank you, sir. I'm going to leave this up there as a reminder, guys. Listen and learn to the Maestro Coach Gogue. You got 5 decades of experience talking to you, right?
Look, Joe. A lot of people, when I made this, they didn't agree with me and everything. They didn't agree with me because, it's perception. Their perception was, oh man, this guy's another Alejandro Burchell. He's easy to hit and this and that. My perception was he can overcome this defensive deficiencies if he takes some, if his coach was smart enough. If you looked on that, if you listened to the show last week towards the end, I said if his coach was smart, they would figure out a way to take away that counter check left hook of Valdez, his biggest weapon. And they would be more patient and methodical in their attack, not rushing in a lot and leaving himself exposed to get hit by those counters. And that's what he did. And his jab, which I never seen him use his jab before a lot, to set up his attack, methodically set up his attack. He was being more patient and calm and working his jab, controlling that just distance. Bothering Valdez to come in, to get closer and everything. So I seen all this shit, man. I'm like, his long arms, his awkward attack, the angles he throws his punches. I said, man, this motherfucker ain't Miguel Alacrán Burchell. This is a different, sophisticated predator, out there. Yeah.
There it is, guys. The moral of the story is it pays to listen to Coach Gogue every Sunday. Yeah. Don't forget to hit the like button on your way out. Don't forget to subscribe. But, guys, that's going to just about do it on behalf of the boxing savant, James Gogue. I'm Joseph Heron. You've been listening to War Week Radio. Have a great week, everybody.
Halftime Pizza and FightSaga.com proudly